is a sports catastrophe special presentation. Hey there, Heather Ho there. It's Junko Diamond. Welcome me to a special presentation of Sports Catastrophe and of course my affiliation with the Poker Players Club of Kitchener. We just finished season 4 of the tournament, and we will have a live final live Saturday, May the 6th, 2023. I've been told that I cannot give too many specifics on it, but basically the top 12 people out of 16 will face each other in a live poker finale, with the winner getting lots of moolah and all that. So I'll reiterate everything later. But I would like to tell you about the 6 weeks of heated competition and how everyone did. Now, the first week of competition was November 10th, 2022. Then week 2 was December 8th. January 12th, 2023 was week 3. Week 4 was February 9th. Week 5, March the 9th. And week 6, April the 13th. Just to let you guys know that, there was to talk about the format. The format was that the top 4 scores out of 6 that a competitor got counted towards his or her score, and the amount of knockouts, no matter what game they played in, would enter in. So this format, I will talk about the 12 people involved and how they did from numbers 1 to 12. So hang on to your hats. Alright, so our first competitor is the number 1 seed headed to the into the playoffs, and not all number 1 seeds can go through regular season and playoffs unscathed, but he will try. This is McBitter, aka Chris. Now, his journey to the number 1 spot was like this. McBitter won his group of 8 people. So what happens is that with 16 people, there were 4 groups of 4, and it doesn't matter which one your group is, but it does determine who you face and all of that. So anyway, in McBitter's group, he won his match. He got himself 3 eliminations. Well, 3 knockouts, right? Yeah, because he knocked out Chubby, he knocked out Newfoundland, and he won himself. So he got 3 knockouts. So he won and took 3 knockouts. In his second game, he took second to Rhythms in a close battle, losing on pocket queens compared to trip 4s. I should say McBitter won thanks to a 4-8 straight on Newfoundland. In week 3, McBitter took 3rd place in his group, falling to Jimmer by a pair of 9s. Week 4, McBitter won his competition, taking down his opponent, taking down Craftworks with a 3-7 straight. And then in March, he was taken out in 4th place by Dwayne when he just couldn't do anything about it. And then McBitter, in his final match, ended up taking 2nd place to Summer, thanks to losing on Kings and 6s. However, McBitter never had to finish worse than 4th place in the 8-person matches. So basically, that's why he's number 1, and he's got a lot of knockouts to prove it. Yeah, I guess I should have written down how many knockouts he had in his matches. McBitter had 2 knockouts in week 2. Week 3, he had he had, I think, 1 knockout. I can't remember. Week 4, he had a couple of knockouts. Well, he had 4. Yeah, McBitter had 4. And then he had 0 knockouts in week 5. And 0 knockouts in week 6, despite taking 2nd. So that's how McBitter is the 1 seed. And taking 2nd place at the front of the grid is Mike, a Master of Keys. Mike ended up taking second place in week 1 in November. Losing to Sales thanks to being Eddie Rivered. That term will be used quite a lot. But anyway, Master Keys picked up 2 eliminations. In week 2, he took second again, losing when he didn't really have much of a hand to Jimmer. Despite all that, he did have 1 elimination. Week 3, he did it again. He took second place, but lost again to Jim, thanks to Aces versus Jacks. So he just was not too pleased with himself. He did pick up 1. He did pick up 1 elimination. Week 4, he won the competition, won the 8-person turn thing over Chubby with 3 Jacks. Picking up 4 knockout points. 3 in the normal, and then of course being the winner, he gets an extra 1. Week 5, he no-showed for some strange reason and didn't pick up any points. However, thankfully for him, that was one of his drop weeks. Like, he could drop those points. And then, unexpectedly, he took 6th place in the final week, getting taken out by Kings and 4s. But anyway, 2nd place is good for him. I mean, his last 2 weeks were crap. But you know what? It's your top 4 weeks that count, and it counted for him. And now the 3 seed was Rhythms. Dan, the man who I believe has the title under his belt. But anyway, Rhythms seemed to be the power force. He took 3rd place in week 1, losing to No-Show Sales thanks to a flush. Rhythms had no eliminations though, which was unusual because he usually KOs people left, right, and center. Week 2, he ended up winning the group by taking down McBitter thanks to Trip Forbes. Rhythms had no eliminations. He didn't eliminate anybody other than McBitter, and of course picked up a KO point for winning the competition. Rhythms then took 2nd place in week 3, losing to a high card to Bry. Rhythms though ripped through everything, getting 3 eliminations, but couldn't get the last one. Week 4, he took 4th place, losing to Chubby thanks to a pair of Jacks, but the Queen Kicker ruined Rhythms. Even more so, Rhythms didn't really eliminate anybody, which was unusual. Week 5, though, he had did I get my stats wrong or something? I don't see his. Oh, okay, sorry. He took 6th place, unusually losing by full house to Dwayne, aka Newfoundland, number 1 Newfoundland. So that's 6th place, and then final week he had nothing to lose, and he took 2nd place, losing 8s and 7s. Rhythms did pick up a pair of eliminations, so yeah, he's going to be a hot prospect and all that. At number 4, starting number 4 will be Bryber, aka Brian, who's done pretty well for himself. Week 1 for Bry, he ended up taking 5th place, getting flushed out by Newfoundland. Week 2, Bry went down on a flush again, but he took 4th this time. He went out to Jim on a flush. He did take out 1 person. Week 3, he won the competition. He won the 8-person group, taking out Rhythms, like I said before, with a 10 to ace straight. Bry had ended up only taking, well, he took out 2 guys, took out Rhythms, and then got the extra KO points. So he got 4 KO points in that match. Bry then took 4th in week 4, losing to McBitter by 2 pairs. So he did pick up a pair of eliminations. And then game 5, he won the competition, taking down Clicker, who really was not too happy with himself. But yeah, Bry took down everybody he picked up 6 elimination points in total. And in game 6, he ended up taking 5th, being taken down by aces and tens by Rhythms. So, not really his game. He did take one guy out. But anyway, Bry is the champion. Or he thinks he's the champion, but time will tell. At number 5 in the regular season is a newcomer. His name is Chubby Tardif. Yes, that's the best representation of Chubby, if you're watching on video, that I can. It's the Chubby Soda. But regardless, this guy named Chris, who is Rhythms' brother, actually took place. So that made the 3rd family connection with the Sims and the Diamonds. Anywho, so his debut tournament didn't do so badly. He took 5th place, but he was taken out by a pair of 8s by Master Keys. Chubby did not pick up an elimination. Week 2, though, he took 3rd place, proving that this week 1 thing was a fluke. He had no eliminations. He was taken out by McBitter thanks to a better 2 pair. Week 3, he ended up taking 8th place. He somehow no-showed. He accidentally went to the wrong table. So he technically got 0 points. And then he basically somehow forgot. Well, he went down in 8th place to Fat Cat, which was shocking. Yeah, but Chubby just... No, Chubby... Yeah. I don't know how... Did I make a mistake or something? I don't know. Something's wrong. But anyway, yeah. Week 5, he took 2nd place, losing to Dwayne by a pair of 8s. He did pick up 2 eliminations. And then in game 6, he took 3rd place. He kind of had nothing to lose, but lost to Rhythms thanks to a 2 pair. He did knock one guy out, so he's looking pretty good. And, you know, a newcomer. Will he win the table? Who knows? In 6th place was Jimmer. So Jimmer took 6th place in the regular season. His journey, well, he ended up taking a terrible 7th place in week 1, losing to Sales on 2 pair. So he really went out harsh. And then he won week 2, his week 2 thing, taking down Master Keys thanks to a pair of jacks. So Jim looked pretty good. He only eliminated one other person other than Master Keys. And then in week 3, he ended up winning again, picking up 2 pair, taking down Master Keys and winning the competition again. Which is funny, it's like deja vu all over again. Unfortunately for Jimmer, things would be bad as he took a pathetic 7th place. Losing to Chubby thanks to a pair of kings. So Jimmer lost the magic. But then again, I mean, it's your 2 lowest scores. So anyway, week 5, he took 4th in his group, losing to Brybird thanks to trip 2s. And final week for him, he took 7th. He was not doing so well. He fumbled to Summer. So Jim fumbled 7th place. A couple of crappy performances. But hey, he won a couple of matches, so that's why he's highly rated. And then in 7th place, you got yourself number 1 Newfoundland, aka Dwayne. Dwayne put up Newfoundland power, Newfie power, and took 2nd place in week 1 to McBitter, losing on a straight. But still, he picked up a pair of eliminations. Week 2, he got beaten quickly to Summer's pair of aces, so that didn't look good for him. Week 3, he took another bacon and took 8th place when he did not show up and all that, but anyway, it did not matter for him. And then he took a powerful 6th place in week 4. Week 5, he ended up winning the whole thing, taking down Chubby thanks to a pair of 8s. So Dwayne did his job and got 5 knockout points. He knocked out 4 guys, and then as the winner, he got his 5th knockout point. And then in week 6, he took 5th place, being flushed out by Summer, pun intended. So, yeah, he's a threat near the end of the tournament. So, let's see what happens with him. Alright, so next is number 8, and that's Summer, who pulled off one of the biggest heists in poker history. No, not physically. Anyway, Summer, who I had the stupidity of mistaking for a boy when it's a girl. Fuck, I suck. Anyway, Summer's journey didn't start off that well. She took second last, or 7th place, to Craftworks in week 1. Week 2 did better, taking 5th place, being taken out by an ace kicker by somebody who I will not mention. And then week 3, she took 5th, losing to Jimmer somehow. Week 4, Summer got flushed out by Ryan and ended up being last. No point, like 5 points though, but she would have to hope that her 5 points would be one of her scores she can drop. And then she took an unimpressive 7th place in week 5, losing by full house to Chubby. So that meant Summer was really in trouble. The numbers show that Summer was behind the 8 ball. She was 14 points back. 14 points back? No, she was 12 points back of the safe zone for the final table. But Summer went up like a rocket, taking everyone out. Took Krista out, took Jim out, took Keys out, took Dwayne out, took Neil out, took Tim out, took McBitter out, took Summer out. So she took everybody out thanks to her 8 knockout points and 24 points for winning the whole thing. Those 32 points rocketed her. Not only did she get into the safe spot, she took 8th place. Are you amazed? Are you listening? Are you listening? You should be listening. Why I said that, I don't know. In 9th place was No Show Sales, who showed up in week 1, and boy did he show up. He took out not 1, not 2, but 5 people, on his way to getting 6 knockout points. Of course, winning, you get a knockout point. However, he no-showed his performance in week 2, losing by straight. Actually, the funny thing was that his 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 straight actually lost to a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 straight of Chubby. And then he took 6th place in week 3, losing the rhythms based on high card. Week 4, he got blinded out. He forgot he had to play. But he ended up in 5th place, so what can happen? And then Sales no-showed, like his name, in week 5, getting no points. And then week 6, he didn't show up much, losing to Chubby thanks to 3 10s. But, you know, that one huge week in week 1 actually helped him out and made him into the final table. Starting out in 10th place is the guy who's doing this whole crapola in the first place. Yeah, it's me, you know. I keep doing it. I keep somehow getting to the final table of everything. So, you know, I skated by again. Anyway, I did not start well in week 1. I got taken out by a flush. I had a flush, and I fucking lost to a flush by Kappa, who had the ace high flush. I had the 10 high flush. You cannot imagine how I fucking lost by a flush. And then in week 2, somehow, in some way, I took 4th place. I got full house against McBitter. Fine. But the shocking thing is, I did something that I rarely do. I knocked 2 people out. Yeah, I took out Fat Cat thanks to a full house. And then I took out Summer thanks to a high kicker. So I had knocked 2 people out. And it's like, Hell has frozen over. Cutter has eliminated people. Week 3, I did it again. I took 3rd place. I pulled off a rally cap. I didn't eliminate anyone, but basically people fell by the wayside. I did lose by 2 pairs of rhythms, but you know what? Losing the rhythms is better than losing to Kappa. Or Master Keys. Damn, I should not say his last name. Sorry. But regardless. Week 4, I had a shit performance. Let's not talk about that. Week 5, I ended up taking 3rd place again. Didn't eliminate anyone, but, you know, I hung on. I actually, after week 4, had to figure I was on the fence. And then I'm thinking to myself, well, do what you have to do, but play your game. Play your waiting game. Which I did. I got taken out by Trip Tans by Chubby. But, nah, whatever. And then week 6, I took 4th. I had to sweat it out, of course, because there were a couple of people that could have beaten me. The worst loss was week 6. Yes, I lost by dueling flushes to Master Keys in week 1. But do you know what? Nothing is worse than losing a poker match when you think you have everything going. You have the lead after the 4th card. Only 1 card could fuck you over, and it fucks you over, and the guy who eliminates you not only has the trademark poker move of Eddie River, but it's your own bleeping brother. It still hurts. It hurts. Losing to my own damn brother. The guy who I've always been toppling him and then saying, hey, you know what? At least I top you in something. Yeah, diatribe over. Anyway, let's get to the final 2 people. And then in 11th place was I Hate Humans, aka Ryan. How did he do? Well, Ryan... Why do I have some problems. Did he even compete? Or did I write... I must have written down something wrong. Because I don't see his name for anything. But, yeah. Yeah, he took... Oh no, he took 4th. Okay, he took 4th. I wrote down the wrong person. But he lost to McBitter. And then in week 2, he took 5th, losing the Kraftwerks thanks to Trip Queens. Week 3, he took 4th in what I call the Turtle Derby. By him and... It was basically a Turtle Derby between me and Ryan to try to get 3rd place and get some money back. Like, real money. But then, you know, taking 3rd place. So it was a Turtle Derby. And then he took 3rd place in week 4, being taken down by Kraftwerks with 2 pair. Oh shit, I forgot to say, Ryan took out 1 person in week 1. Nobody in weeks 2 and 3. Week 4, no eliminations. Week 5, he took 3rd, being taken down by Bry, who was very freaking determined. And then he ended up being flushed out in 6th place in game number 6 by my brother. At least my brother was good for something. He flushed out Ryan, which actually helped me out, trying to sneak into the final table without any worrying and all that. But it worked out for Ryan. He survives. And the 12th and final person at the final table is Krista. KMFS47. So Krista started off in 6th place in week 1, losing by a pair of queens to Sales. Then Krista took 6th in week 2, losing to Kraftwerks by 2 pair. And then she did well in week 3, taking 4th place. And all that. And then she was taken out in 3rd place in week 4 by Master Keys by Pair of Kings. Then week 5, she was taken out in 5th place by Brian, who is very determined. And then in week 6, she somehow got faltered to the other lady of the table, Summer. So 2 ladies and one eliminated each other. So that didn't look good for Krista. Now there is good reason why Krista is a part 12 is in the top 12 stuff. A unfortunate problem with Craftworks, aka Neil, is that he has to go to British Columbia for work. Unfortunately, that meant that he would miss out on the table, even though Craftworks did some good work and all that. So, after a secret vote, Krista was hired to take over Neil's spot. So technically, because Craftworks got, 7th place, everyone from, or was it 8? I can't remember. Yeah, Craftworks was 8. So for everyone 9, 10, 11, 12 actually jump up 1 spot and pick up more chips. But it is what it is. And that is all that it is. But yeah, Krista's in. And that's all we're going to say. So as you can see in the standings that these guys did their job. You got 24 points if you won, 20 for 2nd, 16 for 3rd, 12 for 4th, 10 for 5th, 8 for 6th, 6 for 7th, 5 for 8th, and any knockout you get adds to your scores no matter how terrible you did. Your 2 lowest scores got eliminated. You see them in red. It was a great battle with 16 players, but commiserations go to Fat Cat Tim, who did not put up a great effort. And, he tried. At least he tried. Also, commiserations to Craftworks. Unfortunately, Neil did not qualify for the tournament, because he's off in British Columbia, so Krista has to come in. Commiserations to Clicker, who had a golden chance to make the top 12, but he fell flat in his final match and needed a good match. Even though Clicker got that's what Adam got in the end. And then, of course, commiserations to Hockey Dad Ed, who actually won the final tournament of the year. He won the 6th and final match by outlasting everybody and getting 4 elimination points. He took down Ryan, he took down me, he took down Rhythms, and he got an extra point. It was like, what the heck is going on here? But yeah, it just had to happen that way. So that's just what needed to be done. And of course, that ends the video, and hopefully we'll all have fun at the final table and stuff like that. Anyway, I'm just I'm gonna do.